Guys, I fucked up, and you probably did too, because I didn't cash out my Microsoft Rewards points last week, and now they're worth like 15% less. But it's not all bad news in the world of Xbox this week. Let's break it down together. If this is your first time here, I'm Ray, and this is my channel, Xbox Ready, where I talk about Xbox stuff. The latest news, rumors, games, accessories, everything that's going on in the world of Xbox, because I want to make sure that you are Xbox ready. Now, this first topic came my way because someone actually tweeted at me. I didn't know people still try to at me on Twitter. Mr. David Binkley tweeted at me and said, "Did you notice that Xbox changed the reward points needed for gift cards? Maybe I'm crazy, but seems like $50 was like 47K. And no, you are not crazy, my friend, because Microsoft did up the redemption point requirements to get even a $10 gift card. They didn't announce anything. They just kind of sneakily did it on the low. It used to be 8,750 points for a $10 gift card, and now it is 10,000. Except for me, I guess. I don't know. Xbox and Microsoft, they wanted to help your boy Ray out and keep me on the old rate of 8,750 points, but for a lot of people across multiple regions, that is not the case. Because I can't do math for shit, I had to use the internet to find out how much of a percentage of an increase that is, and it turns out it's just under 15%. And if you like me and you've set a little Microsoft Rewards goal, like I want to earn enough points to get a $10 gift card, Microsoft just took the finish line and moved it just a little bit farther down. Every time I hear about a change coming to Microsoft Rewards, it's never good. Like, no one's ever like, yeah, these are good changes. This is awesome. Back in January, Microsoft already made some changes that hurt rates. Back in 2025, they nerfed daily point caps, and they made some quests Ultimate only. You had to have a Game Pass Ultimate subscription in order to do some of these quests, which used to be fine until they raised the price of Ultimate to $30. At least with those previous changes, we were getting a lot of coverage about it. Everyone knew that these things were happening. With this, it just seems like they were hoping that no one was gonna notice. If you put in just a little bit of effort with daily searches and quests, it used to be pretty easy to get a $10 gift card. Now for the same effort, you're getting like $7 or $8. So if you're someone that's still using these rewards points to offset the price increase to Game Pass Ultimate, this stinks. And already that was kind of tough depending on what tier you're at, because they cap how much you can earn in rewards. $50 for that middle tier, $100 for Game Pass Ultimate. And since this has all been coming out, people have been sharing crazy stories. Of course, a bunch of people saying that they're done with Microsoft Rewards. Other people are saying that they're cashing out, jumping ship entirely. I don't know what that means. Like, oh, my rewards points are worth less. Better go drop $500 on a PS5. I saw that one person had 500,000 points saved up and then for some reason got their account banned and realized, damn, at any point Microsoft can just take this away from me. And it's like, is it really worth it for Microsoft, man? Like, is it really worth it to nerf the points, nickel and dime their customers, while they turn the other cheek and blow billions on AI, things that no one wants? I guess the one thing is that, well, at least Microsoft Rewards is still hanging around. You can still earn points. You just have to spend a little bit more points in order to get the things that you might want. Compared to Sony, who's winding down PlayStation Rewards, I think people have until like November of this year to continue using their points. And Nintendo Gold points, I mean, come on, that's just a joke. Bottom line though, if you got points saved up, you may consider cashing out before Microsoft nerfs them even further. But it's not all bad news, like I said at the top of the video though, because they just announced the second wave of games coming to Game Pass in the back half of February, and it's good, y'all. Now, usually it's only good or mostly just good for Game Pass Ultimate subscribers, but even if you're hanging around on that premium tier, you're getting some bangers too. By the time this video goes up, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Complete Edition is going to be added to Ultimate and Premium, not PC Game Pass, unfortunately. Now, I know this game, it's turning 11, believe it or not, this May. I can't believe it's been that long, but if you haven't played it for whatever reason, it's just never come across your radar, please, especially if you're subscribed to Game Pass Premium or Ultimate, do yourself a favor and jump in. Do it for me. This game came out May 2015, and I remember being dead broke. I was still in college, but it was my birthday, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna treat myself to The Witcher 3, this game that looks really cool, looks interesting. I'm gonna treat myself for my birthday. And it became one of my favorite role-playing games of all time. And this is the complete edition, so you get all of the DLCs, including Blood and Wine, which is arguably one of my favorite DLCs of all time. I go back and play this game like once every year or so, and I will admit that there are some things that I'm like, okay, this game is starting to show its age. RPG combat has come a long way in 11 years. So going back to a system like The Witcher 3, I can see how some people might get bored with it, but the story and the choices that you make that affect that story, that's what hooked me. That's what kept me in. And even to this day, The Witcher 3 is one of those games where I could just lose myself in the world. I'll be going through a field of grass and just listening to the wind and the sounds of nature. It's awesome. The moment I really fell in love with this game was when I was going around Velen and there was these people from Temeria who were trying to lynch this Nilfgaardian soldier who said that he was just deserting and trying to go back home, but they weren't buying it. They were like, no, you're evil, we want to kill you. And so you were given 3 choices. You could kill the people trying to lynch the guy, or you can join in on the fun and be like, yeah, that guy sucks, I want him dead. Or you could stay neutral. You can be like, you know what, doesn't involve me. I didn't see nothing, do whatever you're gonna do. I ended up choosing not to involve myself. I was just gonna go about my day. They end up taking his life, and I was curious because you can search the bodies in this game. You can loot them to see if they have anything cool or interesting. So I walk up to this guy's body. I'm like, okay, what's going on here? Find a note. The guy was telling the truth the whole time. He wasn't lying. He was deserting the Nilfgaardian army. He was trying to make it back home against all odds, all so he could see his wife, who this letter is addressed to. It was heartbreaking. I was like, no, what did I do? So I ended up save scumming. I loaded up an earlier save and then helped the guy out. Not every moment in The Witcher 3 is gonna reach those same highs, but there are enough of them for me to recommend that you play this game somehow, some way, whether it's through Game Pass, whether you buy it through the Xbox store, PlayStation. You could play it on the damn Switch if you really need to. If you want an RPG with swords, but it's on the newer side, I was shocked to see that Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is going to be coming to multiple tiers of Game Pass as well. Ultimate, PC, and Premium, that middle tier. People made such a big deal about this game not being added to Game Pass when it launched last year, but honestly, it's kind of perfect timing because they just added the first Kingdom Come Deliverance with that next-gen patch, that next-gen upgrade. It's also on that middle tier, so it's the perfect opportunity for you to just burn like hundreds of hours of your life playing that first game going straight into the second game. This is a big month if you're on that premium tier for Game Pass. Avowed is finally being added to that tier. The full release of Towerborn is coming out on Ultimate, Premium, and PC Game Pass. This is a game I've been following for a while. I got to play it at the mini Gamescom event that they held in LA. Towerborn is a cool concept, like this side scroller, two-dimensional brawler a la Castle Crashers, but you have a lot of flexibility with the classes and the abilities, the different weapons. I'm interested to see how the shift away from a free-to-play game turns out for them. In theory, people buying the game will make it so that they don't have to rely so much on microtransactions, but then if the game doesn't sell very well, are they just gonna go back to the free-to-play model? I hope not. Pretty solid couple of weeks for Game Pass after they just got Diablo 2 resurrected. So yeah, outside of the Microsoft Rewards news, not all things are bad in the land of Xbox if you ignore the Xbox Live outage that happened just the other day. Back on Tuesday, people were reporting that Xbox Live was having a major outage starting at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Did I say Eastern time? I meant Eastern time. And of course, in this modern day of Xbox and gaming, when Xbox Live goes down or Xbox's servers go down, it's not just a matter of, oh, I can't play Halo 3 with my friends. It fundamentally undermines the entire idea of Xbox as it is right now, because you can't sync your saves, you can't access your games on your other devices. You're locked out of the ecosystem because it's all tied to your account, which needs verification from their servers. Eventually, the whole thing got resolved, and as far as I see, there's no lasting damages to my data. But this ain't the first time this has happened. We've had multiple outages over the past year, for sure. And when your entire strategy revolves around cloud saves, cross-platform play, access your account and your games from any device that you want, this is something that cannot keep happening. I've already experienced this once, but if I decide, hey, I want to take my Xbox Ally X and play my games at the airport, and I can't do that because Xbox Live is down, it destroys the whole point or the whole thing that makes this thing cool. So yeah, that whole situation sucks, but Xbox actually scored another win outside of Game Pass, and believe it or not, it's because of the Xbox Series X. Yes, the console that apparently no one wants to buy. Earlier we mentioned that Avowed was trickling on down to that middle tier of Game Pass Premium. That's part of this larger anniversary update that they got going on. They're implementing a bunch of updates, and oh yeah, they're also releasing the PS5 version of the game. And like clockwork, Digital Foundry was like, you know what, let's go ahead and compare all the different versions of Avowed that are out there right now. The Series S, the Series X, PS5, and PS5 Pro. Now, when it comes to how Avowed performs on the PS5 versus the Series X, it looks like the PS5 has just a tiny edge in terms of frame rate and better variable refresh rate implementation, which that's kind of a bummer because, well, it took forever for PlayStation 5 to get VRR. We've had that on the Xbox Series X since launch. I used to clown Jimmy about it all the time. I thought that was whack. For Xbox, they should be handling variable refresh rate at a system level. They should be running laps around PS5, just given the amount of time that they've had to sit with it and work with it. But the Xbox Series X managed to hold 1440p resolutions at a more consistent clip than we were seeing on the PS5. And when it comes to the PS5 Pro version of Avowed, I was waiting to hear like, oh, yet again, another Xbox published game runs awesomely on the PS5 Pro in a way that it could never run on the Xbox Series X. But what Digital Foundry was seeing is that it barely got any enhancements over the Series X. It was basically just a Series X version running on the PS5 Pro, which is actually a win for the Series X. You're getting PS5 Pro level visuals on a console that is almost 6 years old. But the VRR thing is annoying. That should just work. It kind of brings up the question of why didn't Obsidian push the PS5 Pro version of Avowed just a little bit harder? Like, is the hardware gap just not as significant as we thought? Did they not have enough time? Was there no interest? No matter what though, shout out to Obsidian for providing all of this free content. A lot of the changes that they were talking about, especially with the Ranger skill tree, I'm really interested to try out and see for myself. If we're looking at just the game itself, they're adding a lot. They're adding in new species with their own specialized stats, so dwarves get a +1, and it's really cool because these species are available at character creation, and you can also change it up mid-playthrough. There is kind of a trade-off though. You get to keep all of your unlocked abilities, your spent attribute points. Your unique weapons get reset to level 1, but you keep all unlocked enchantments. But you'll have to re-recruit your companions. You'll lose all of your gold and upgrade materials, all of your consumables, quest items, and godlike abilities. Enemy stats have been increased across the board, and they can spawn in with these different mods, like they could be immune to fire, or they could be like really fast, or have a really big health bar. You know how people who play RPGs love big health bars. And finally, they're adding in a new game plus. All of these stories put together, it paints an interesting picture of what's going on at Microsoft and with Xbox. It's like a quintessential news cycle for Xbox. Ooh, some cool things happening. Oh, but some really annoying stuff is happening too. Nerfing Microsoft rewards, not so long after they increased the prices of Game Pass and consoles. That's annoying. But at the same time, the games are solid, the Game Pass library and the games that they're adding to that library, those are solid. The Xbox consoles, those are solid too. Like, the products are actually good. It's just the business decisions that are frustrating people. And before I end this video, I wanted to do a quick birthday shout out. First Blood reached out to me on Xbox, asked me to do a birthday shout out for his son, Ollie. Ollie, happy birthday. Being 8 years old is awesome. Cherish it. When I was 8 years old, I was really developing my love for video games with my best friend, Matt Swanson. I had a PS2 at the time. I didn't have an Xbox, so I was playing games like Final Fantasy X, Sly Cooper, Twisted Metal, The Simpsons Hit and Run, The Simpsons Skateboarding, Ico, God of War, so many great games. I hope year 8 is filled with many great games and memory for you as well, Ollie. Thanks again to Daniel and Ollie for being supporters and fans of the channel, and we'll see you in the next one.